This is Shred, and today we're going to talk about how you can instantly solo on guitar. I'll take you through the 3 levels of soloing. Using the pentatonic scale over a single chord, playing over a chord progression, and finally playing over chords that don't fit in the key. Soon you'll be blowing people's minds with your epic improvised solos. Grab the full tabs, backing tracks, and guitar profiles at my Patreon page below. I'm talking way below. All it takes is for you to sign away your soul to me forever. So basically no big deal. Level 1 of guitar soloing is to learn the pentatonic scale. Without these 5 magical notes, you'll never be like David Gilmour or Nick Jonas. Randy Rhoads. Here's the A minor pentatonic scale. Now you can use the minor pentatonic scale to solo over any chord like a boss. Let's say you got an A chord. Play the A minor pentatonic scale over top. How about a G chord? Use the G minor pentatonic scale. What if you want to solo over an F chord? Try the F minor pentatonic scale. Of course, F stands for f. That's really all there is to soloing at its core. Playing the right scale over a chord. I mean, you could just play whatever you want like L. Wayne, but that sounds like balls. Our guitar just sound good. Level 2 of guitar soloing is to use the pentatonic scale over a chord progression, because most songs aren't just one chord unless you're Cardi B. Let's take a short chord progression using A minor, G, and F chords. The goal here is to just play random stuff using the A minor pentatonic scale. The reason we're using the A minor pentatonic scale is because A is the key center. To be exact, we're in the key of A minor. There's no wrong notes here as long as you stick with the scale. Now pray to the metal gods to guide you and let it rip. All the backing tracks in this video will be available in the description below. So that sounds decent, but what if you want to sound more like a guitar boss? Try using some patterns like these. Now let's put that to work over our 3 chord progression. Just throw them in wherever you like, and I promise the babes will be impressed. When you stop playing. spend a lot of time in level 2 developing your own licks and ideas. And I should mention, this is one of the greatest ways to become good at improvising. Level 3 of guitar soloing is when you're comfortable playing over a chord progression that doesn't stay in the key. Let's add one out of key chord to our A minor G F progression. E major is spelled E, G sharp, and B. The G sharp note doesn't fit within the key of A minor. So the question is, how do you solo over a chord that doesn't fit in the key? To solo over an out-of-key chord, outline the notes in that chord. Instead of thinking about the A minor pentatonic scale, let's use an E major arpeggio over the E, playing E, G sharp, and B notes. That works well enough. It's not as easy to solo over chords that are outside the key, but I would argue it's more fun. Chromaticism or out-of-key notes and chords creates more tension in music. That's why I like Dave Mustaine's songwriting in Megadeth. He's not afraid to use notes and chords outside the key. Now let's try using arpeggios for all of the chords in our Andalusian cadence. If you're not sure what an arpeggio is, it's just the notes of a chord played separately. A minor contains the notes A, C, and E. G has the notes G, B, and D, and F has the notes F, A, and C. Finally, E, as I said before, is spelled E, G sharp, and B. Of course, B stands for big bosoms. Okay, so that's a fun way to approach soloing, using chord shapes instead of scale shapes. It helps you become aware of the notes in the chords instead of just going into autopilot like L. Wayne. Now, let's take our out-of-key soloing to the next level. Here's a neoclassical chord progression that's very chromatic. I'm using secondary dominants and other out-of-key sounds. By the way, you can learn more about neoclassical harmony in my neoclassical masterclass package. I'll put a link in the description. It's the best way to become a metal version of Bach. This chord progression is filled with sonic landmines. If you're not careful to navigate around these out-of-key notes, you're going to explode. Let's take this one measure at a time, chord by chord, so you don't sustain any sonic injuries. The first chord is A minor. Try using the A minor pentatonic scale here. So far, so good. The next chord is a D minor. Feel free to keep repping the A minor pentatonic scale for this chord because the notes still fit. If you want to really sound like you know what you're doing, emphasize the D minor chord tones like D and A. Of course, A stands for ass. In the following bar, we move to a B over A chord. Anytime you come across a chord outside the key, the safest bet is to play the chord tones with an arpeggio. After the B, we move to an E chord, a perfect opportunity to utilize one of metal's greatest scales, the Phrygian dominant scale. It has a very exotic feel to it. Keep playing the Phrygian dominant scale over the E7 chord in the next bar. But when you get to the A over C sharp, take F sharp minor pentatonic for a spin. As we move to an A minor chord, let's go back to home base with the A minor pentatonic scale. Home sweet home. As the progression comes to a close, shoot for a B7 sus arpeggio over the B7 sus. And close it down with the E minor pentatonic scale over the E minor chord. Improvisation is when you make things up on the fly. It's kind of like when you're talking to a friend, you're not planning out exactly what you're going to say, you just talk. If you become fluent enough in the language of music, you can do the same kind of thing. One of the best ways to practice improvising is to play around over a drone. The drone provides a contextual reference point from which you can practice different scales, techniques, or chords. The drone you just heard was in A. This means you can play any scale with an A in it. Of course, A stands for ass. I like to switch between different exotic scales and chord progressions. In that example, I used A Mixolydian flat 6, A Lydian, and the A Arabic scale. You can get the tabs for those scales as well as all of the scales in existence in my scale Bible below. Now I'm curious, what's your favorite exotic scale? Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking about the new guitar that I'm playing in this video. Ola the Swede sent me this new Solar Flying V. And to be honest, it's my first Flying V, so I guess you could say I've lost my V card. It's a lot of fun to finger. Oh, yeah. Get the full tabs, backing tracks, and guitar profiles at my Patreon page below. You can also buy my courses individually on Gumroad if you're not ready to give me your soul just yet. I want to know in the comments, how do you guys practice your soloing and improvising? What players have inspired your style? A big thank you to all my viewers. That's you. I really appreciate you guys. Until next time, stay evil, my friends.